if we were to look at our choices from this graph here, right? So we have our t-shirts and our movies. If we wanted to put that on our budget constraint, it might look something like this, showing us all the different options here, such as 8 movies and 0 t-shirts, or 4 t-shirts and 0 movies. So we have our total utility numbers from consuming these goods. For example, on bundle T, we see that we have 100 total utility. And how did we get that? Well, you're doing 8 movies and 0 t-shirts. So if I went to the 8 movies, right, total utility is 100, and 0 t-shirts is 0 utility, then your total utility from that is 100. If we were to pick another bundle, such as point R here, which is 4 movies and 2 t-shirts, they got a total of 101. So looking at that one, on bundle 4 movies and 2 shirts, okay, how they got that was they had 58 utility from the movies and 43 utility from the t-shirts, and that created a total of 101 from this bundle. Okay, so here, if you were looking at the total utility numbers and the budget constraint, to pick the most happiness within your budget, you would pick point S, right? Just by adding up all those different bundles and then finding the different combinations. So looking at all these combinations and adding them together, you would find out that S would give you the most utility. All right. Now let's go more in depth about why we would choose this. Okay. So we're going to look at optimal choice here. So first thing we need is we need your income. In this case, your income is $56. And your movies cost 7, t-shirts cost 14. So how much would you choose? So here's the deal. We do need to go back to chapter 1, which talked about the margin analysis, which looked at marginal benefit and marginal cost, right? Where this is your optimal choice. Marginal benefit is just how much the additional happiness you're getting, and you have to match that up with the additional cost that you're having. So movies cost $7. Let's figure out the most amount of movies you would buy if you only looked at that. Okay. So remember, the marginal benefit numbers are the margin utility. All right. Now the movies cost $7, so that's the marginal cost. Marginal is the change, and it's every movie, right? It's $7. So your cost is changing by 7. So what we need to do is look at our marginal benefits and our marginal cost. And based off of this, we would just keep on consuming movies, right? There's no end to that. So basically, we would just keep on going. But if we were to look at the t-shirt side, where the t-shirts cost $14, let's figure out the most amount of t-shirts we would buy there. Again, we would have to look at the marginal benefit numbers, which are these, and the marginal cost. And so what we're looking at here is, would you buy the first t-shirt? Well, the first t-shirt gives you 22 utility, and it only costs 14. So yep, you're going to buy that one. What about 21 and 14? Yes, you're going to buy that one. 20 and 14, right? The marginal benefit is greater than the marginal cost, so we keep consuming. Next one's 18, so we buy that one. 16, yes, we buy that one. 14, right there. This is where we stop. Okay? You do not buy the 7th or 8th shirt because the marginal benefit is less than the marginal cost. So what you should do is consume less. Now this is only when we're consuming one good, where basically we're looking at the marginal benefit and the marginal cost. And remember, if the marginal benefit's more than the marginal cost, you're going to consume more. All right, and that's what we saw here. So only looking at the t-shirts, you would buy 6 t-shirts based off of this. Now, if we were to look at both t-shirts and movies at the same time, right, we can do the same thing. But the only thing different now is we need to find the marginal utility per dollar, the additional satisfaction gained from purchasing a good given the price of the product. So all we're going to do here is get the margin utility from all those different goods, and then divide them by the price. And what we're trying to do is we are trying to get the optimal choice, marginal benefit, marginal cost. But because of two goods, we need the bang per buck, the margin utility per dollar, to be the same for both goods. Okay? So what we're trying to do on one good is you're looking at this, marginal benefit, marginal cost. With two or more goods, okay, you need to measure the margin utility per dollar and then make sure those are equal. That is where you maximize utility. So let's do that real quick. So again, t-shirts are $14 and movies are $7. So we're going to take the margin utility and divide it by the price. All right. So what we'll do is we'll do 22 divided by 14. So 22 divided by 14, and that's going to give you 1.57. And then we'll do the same thing. We'll do 21 divided by 14, and that's 1.5. And you're going to do this the whole way down. 1.43. Again, we're just trying to find the bang per buck, all right, the margin utility per dollar. You should get 1.29 here. This is 1.14. This is 1. This is 0.86. And that's 0.71. All right, so this is how you find the margin utility per dollar on the t-shirt side. Let's do the movies. So again, we're taking the margin utility and dividing it by the price. So we'll do 16 divided by 7. That's 2.29. 15 divided by 7 is 2.14. That's 2. That's 1.86. That's 1.71. That's 1.57. And that's 1.43. And that's 1.29. Okay. So now that we found the margin utility per dollar for the t-shirts and the margin utility per dollar for the movies, okay, now we need to find out where are they equal. All right. So you're probably thinking, oh, not equal, not equal, not equal. But remember, you can buy a combination of these goods. You can buy one t-shirt and 8 movies or one t-shirt and 7 movies. You can buy a different combination. So you're trying to find out where the margin utility per dollar are equal. So the way to make this easy is to see, is there a 1.57 over here? All right. And the answer is yes, right? We have one at 1 t-shirt and 6 movies. That's good. Do we have a 1.5? We do not have a 1.5. Do we have a 1.43? Yes, we do. We have one at 3 t-shirts and 7 movies right here. Do we have a 1.29? Yes, we do. 4 t-shirts and 8 movies. All right, so again, that's how we're doing this. We're trying to find out where the margin utility per dollars are equal. And we can mix match on the bundles. Okay, so obviously there's not a 1.14 here or a 1 or 0.86, so we're done. So these are our 3 choices where we do maximize our utility. Now, which one would give us the most amount of happiness? Well, obviously that would be at 4 shirts and 8 movies. That would be the most happiness because you're consuming the most. But we only have $56. So since we only have $56, we have to look at how much each of these bundles cost. So let's go and do that. Okay, so the first bundle we have is 1 shirt and 6 movies. If we were to look at the cost of this, that is $14. This is $7 for 6 movies, so that's $42. So we're going to end up with a total amount at 56. And remember, given our budget of 56 bucks, we can only buy one shirt and 6 movies. This gives us the most amount of happiness for our budget. Okay? If you had a raise in income, you can look at buying 3 shirts and 7 movies. That is a possibility for you. All right. Now remember, we did this to find the optimal choice. Okay, and we found it very, very quickly compared to looking at the toy utility from all the different combinations at one time. And sure enough, going back to our chart here, where we said point S was the optimal, 6 movies, 1 shirt. So by finding the margin utility per dollar, we were able to find where you maximize your utility in your budget. Okay, so that's how we do it between 2 goods. All right, in the next video, I'll show you some other things you can do with this as well.